we're going to explain how to solve not enough input arguments errors in MATLAB. This common error arises when a function is called with fewer input arguments than it's defined to require. Let's explore the causes and solutions. 1. Understanding the error. The not enough input arguments error message directly points to a mismatch between the number of arguments your function expects and the number you're providing when you call it. MATLAB functions are defined with a specific number of input arguments, inputs, in their function definition. If you attempt to use the function without providing all the necessary inputs, MATLAB throws this error. 2. Identifying the problem function. The error message usually indicates the name of the function causing the problem. Locate the function's definition, usually an M file, to understand its expected inputs. Check the function's header line, which specifies the input and output arguments. For instance, function output =, my function, input 1, input 2, indicates that my function needs two inputs, input 1 and input 2, to execute correctly. 3. Checking the function call. Carefully examine the line of code where you call the problematic function. Count the number of arguments you are passing and compare it to the number of arguments the function definition expects. Even a single missing argument will trigger the error. Common mistakes include typos in variable names or forgetting to include a necessary input. 4. Debugging strategies. A. Print statements. Insert disp statements before the function call to print the values of the variables you're passing as arguments. This helps verify that the variables exist and have the expected values. Variable inspection. Use the MATLAB debugger to step through your code line by line. Check the values of variables at different points. This allows you to pinpoint exactly where the problem occurs and what inputs are missing. Code. Review. If the problem persists, carefully review the entire function and all the calls to it. An oversight in the logic or a misunderstanding of the function's purpose might be the cause. 5. Solutions. The solution is straightforward. Provide all the required input arguments to the function. Ensure the number and order of the arguments match the function definition. If a function allows optional inputs with default values, make sure you understand how to utilize these defaults to avoid this error. 6. Optional arguments and default values. Some functions are designed to handle optional arguments. These functions typically provide default values for these arguments in case they are not supplied during the function call. Refer to the function's documentation to understand how to use optional arguments and their default values. If you aren't providing optional arguments, ensure you use proper syntax to omit them in the function call. 7. Using help in documentation. MATLAB's built-in help system, help function name or doc function name, is invaluable. It provides detailed information about a function, including its input and output arguments and their data types. Consult the documentation to clarify the expected inputs for any function that's causing trouble. In summary, the not enough input arguments error signifies a simple mismatch between the inputs your function expects and what you provide. Carefully review your function's definition, the function call, and utilize debugging tools to easily resolve this common MATLAB error. Remember to check for typos and ensure that all required arguments are present and have the correct data types. Use the help documentation and remember the concept of optional arguments and default values if they are applicable in your case.